Hi guys, it's Day with Spanglish Generation. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. This is the first video I'm doing in English. The purpose of the channel is to actually do a video in both English and Spanish, hence Spanglish Generation. So here we go. I haven't had a chance to do a video in English, and this is the first one that I am actually translating. So I'm so glad that you're here. Please subscribe and support if you find value in the content that I am providing to you in this channel. So without further ado, let's get started. There's a plane going by. So today we're going to talk about 5 facts about the book of Esther that are important to note. Fact number one is that God's name is not mentioned in the book of Esther. This is one of my favorite Bible characters, and it's shocking to realize that God's name is not mentioned anywhere. If you haven't read the book of Esther, go ahead and Google it, read it, look it up. It's very short. I'm pretty sure you're going to love the story. The fact that God's name is not mentioned is telling me that just because I don't mention God in something or in my life, it doesn't mean he's not present. It doesn't mean he's not working. Sometimes we go about our lives, or we see people, our children go about their lives, and we feel that God is not included. But that doesn't mean God is excluding himself. He is actually very present, even though sometimes we may not mention him or purposely include him. Trust me, he has a plan and he's working on it. Fact number 2. Esther just wanted to be a queen, honey. If there was a hashtag for Esther, back in the day, it would be hashtag living my best life, because basically she was just looking out for her best interest. Her and her cousin Mordecai actually, found out about this contest. The king was looking for like a virgin, beautiful queen, and Esther was beautiful, and his cousin said, you should sign up, hide your identity, don't tell them you're a Jew, because the Jews were actually captive during that time. Like, she had to hide who she was. But Mordecai, he wasn't dumb. Mordecai said, you have a chance at winning this. You should sign up. What did he have to gain? Think about it. This was very selfish on his behalf, because he was pushing his cousin to a pagan king to possibly live a pagan life, and so he could be maybe closer to the kingdom and have a little bit of leverage, with the king. So they were just looking out for themselves, okay? And parenthesis, who would not want to be queen? Who would not want to be wined and dined, 24/7 served, okay? No more driving, no more diapers, no more washing dishes. You get massages all the time. You get anything you want. Where do I sign up? This was like the Bachelor, the Persian Bachelor version of the time. This basic reality show that King Ahasuerus came up with. It was a very creative, fun man. Not very serious, but I'm pretty sure he was a lot of fun. So when Esther signed up for this contest, she was not thinking about what is God's mission for my life. No, she wanted to be queen. She wanted the experience. She wanted the privilege. She wanted the lifestyle. You could just imagine the gossip, right? She had to go sell herself to some pagan king. She couldn't find a humble guy amongst us. Is Esther's going to do us like that? Right? You could imagine, those people, they can't see you happy. They can't see that anybody does something great because they already start talking. So I'm pretty sure she had to face a lot of people in her town that actually turned their back on her. You know who you are. Fact number 3, God will use anything to take his plan to fulfillment. He used Esther's beauty, something that could be seen as vain or superficial. Her physical attractiveness, her appearance, was utilized to place her in a position where she would be able to be used for a higher purpose. The king's weakness of beautiful women was also used. The king's weaknesses for parties and drinking was also used. You will see in the story how Esther actually throws a party for the king to kind of, give him some information that was kind of sensitive and, make requests. And why would she do that? It's because she wanted to make sure that he had a couple drinks in him before, because she knew that Ahasuerus liked to party. So all these things were utilized. All these weaknesses were utilized. Fact number 4, They look for God when it gets really, really tough. Because if you notice, when Esther was signing up for this contest to be queen, there's no mention of anyone praying or fasting or anything. But when, there comes a point in the story where the king is going after the Jews to destroy them, exterminate them, basically, Mordecai gets, notice of that. He gets word of that, and he sends a message to Esther and says, cousin, look, you need to come clean about who you are, about your identity, because we're gonna die. And Esther was like, hold on now, Mordecai. Hold on now, buddy. I haven't been called to see the king in 30 days. And if I show up unannounced, he's going to kill me. That's just the rule. That's the law. If you show up unannounced to see the king, whether you're the queen or whoever you are, you will instantly die. So Mordecai was like, you're still going to die, sister. Guess what? You're still dead, because this man is going to kill us all. And when he finds out you're a Jew and that you lied, you're dead. Let's quickly look at Esther 4:14. Esther chapter 4 verse 14 says, if you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance for the Jews will arise from some other place, but you and your relatives will die. So basically what he's saying is, look, baby, God, he didn't say God, but basically deliverance for the Jews, God will find a way to free his people. God will find a way to fulfill his plan. And the second part of verse 14 is where we realize that they had no idea what they were doing. It says, what's more, who can say but that you have been elevated to the palace for such a time as this? So the famous verse, who knows if you have been made queen for such a time as this? So basically, they had no assurance that they were being called for this. He was like, hey, who knows? Take a chance, because you never know. And this might be it for you. This might be the reason why you became queen. May not be. Don't think it's all you being all pretty and cute. This is something else, and who knows if this is why you're placed in the palace. So do it. Basically, me paraphrasing, adding some stuff to that story, adding some spice. So basically, they went out looking for God when it got tough. And we do that all the time. We're just living our life. When everything's fine and dandy, we don't think about it. And then when everything goes and gets tough, Lord, we look for spiritual guidance. We look for prayer groups. We fast. We get very spiritual very quickly when things get tough. And that's exactly what happened to Esther and Mordecai. She said, okay, people, start fasting. She told her servants, y'all need to fast. Y'all need to pray, because this is serious. And you know the rest of the story. And if you don't, you'll find out when you read the book of Esther. I urge you to read it. You're going to love it. Okay, and fact number 5, if you don't do it, God will find someone to do it. If you don't do it, it's okay. It's fine. You're not going to stop God's plan from going forward. You're not that important. However, you are important enough that he wants you to be a part of it. He wants you to be a part of a greater plan. But if you don't want to be a part of it, he's not going to stop just because you don't want to be a part of it. He's going to go forward. So deliverance will come from somewhere else. Okay, the solution will come from someone else, because God maybe has put you in a position of privilege, and privilege doesn't have to be royalty. He just has given you a platform. Use it. He's asking you to use it. He's giving you the opportunity to use it to make a difference for his purpose. But God will not stop his plan just because you don't want to be a part of them. There are plenty of people who are willing to do what is supposed to be done, what needs to get done, and step up to the plate and get things done properly. So what a privilege to be given the chance. And what a shame that sometimes we turn away the opportunity. The most important and inspiring lesson from this is that you get the assurance that nothing and no one can stop God's plan for your life. Isn't that beautiful? Just like you cannot stand in God's plan for somebody else's life, no one can stand in God's plan for your life. Not a sibling, not a mother, not a father, not a partner, not a brother, not a sister, not a friend, not a child, not a boss, No one. So in closing, I just want you to keep this. God has a plan for your life, and no one's going to stop that. And he also has a plan for you at greater things, greater levels. You just have to be willing to step up to the plate and say, hey, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing to go ahead and go forward. Just because you're not mentioning God constantly doesn't mean he's left you. That's so rewarding. That's so encouraging. So just keep believing that even though you may not know exactly what you're doing all the time, he does. And you should trust that. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Hi, it's Day. Thank you for watching this video. If you believe that there is a need for more positive voices out there that take a message of optimism and motivation, I would really love it if you would subscribe to my channel. If you do believe that this content adds value, and that way you will be helping me to create even more content. So thank you so much. God bless.